Hello and welcome to Bay of Fundy Fortunes. My name is Natalie. I'm an intuitive card reader and I am also an empath as well. I'm here this evening to do the reading for the sign of Taurus the Bull for this general monthly reading for the month of December 2016. So let's get right into the cards. I've already pre-shuffled them, but I'm just going to redo them again to warm them up. I forgot to push my laptop. Excuse me for one moment, because I need the room. There we go. Okay. There, we give these another good shuffle. Taurus the Bull. Messages. Masters of the Universe, Spirit Guides, Masters of the Natural World Order. Shoot. Please bring forth any messages you may have for the sign of Taurus the Bull for this general reading for December 2016. Messages for Taurus the Bull. You'll have to excuse my fingernails. Yeah, nothing is as advertised. I always try to make my hands presentable because we have to show them up close in the camera. Of course, I invested in some instant dry nail polish, and I just gave them a quick brush over with the polish, maybe 20 minutes ago, and I just smudged the heck out of them. I've got polish all over my hands. I am not happy, and I'm not impressed at all. Sally Hansen, your Insta-Dry sucks right out loud. That's the product. Love the colors, but I'm the type of person, I can't sit long enough to let nail polish dry, believe it or not. I really can't. And I almost always smudge them. I've even tried doing the old trick of running them under, turning on the tap, running them under ice cold water to make the polish harden faster and set. I still manage to smudge. They're horrible. I wish I could just afford to go get my nails done. Those beautiful gel nails, I've had them before in the past. They're durable. They always look fantastic whether they're painted or not. They're low maintenance, other than you have to keep going back to get the fill-ins, but as they grow, but still. Okay. Taurus. We want messages for Taurus in their life for this general reading for December 2016. All right. And these are your cards. First card I pulled for you is the Seven of Pentacles. In your overall energy, it represents potential. Second card is your Four of Wands, which is your finances and your wealth. It represents reward, reward. The third card that I pulled for you is your hearth, your home, your love, anything to do with the heart, in love of any way, shape, and form. And it falls in that position. What I pulled for you here is, and don't panic because it's not what you think it is, it's death, and it represents transformation. It's the ending of one thing into something new. The fourth card that I pulled for you are challenges for the month of December. The last card that I pull, and the fifth card that I pull for you is your message from Spirit. And I will pull, for any of you that are new, I pull one more card from my deck of tarot as the significator at the end of this Oceanic Tarot deck. That's what I use, by Jane Wallace, illustrated by Jane Delaware Taylor, to give them credit for the cards. Okay, let's get right into it here, Taurus the Bull. Very first card, as I said, is your Seven of Pentacles, and it's all about potential. Get that in there. All right. The keywords that represent this card are money, perseverance, dedication, work, investment, time, and success. The advice is don't doubt your abilities or the path that you have chosen. Keep on going. You are on the track for success. There's lots to be gained when the 7 appears. It shows your dedication is paying off. And you could see the rewards that you seek. The potential for success is coming. It could mean a little bit more hard work and a little bit more sacrifice. But attention to detail is very important at this time. Any extra effort you put into anything that you have on the go this time, this card is telling you to keep going the way you're going. Everything you're doing is correct. Even if you're having, I feel for some of you have self-doubts. Some of you have no confidence at all in whatever it is, these new ventures you've undertaken, new projects, new jobs. You're full of a lot of self-doubt, and you really shouldn't be. The universe is telling you through the cards that you're doing the right thing, and you're doing better than you think you are. To be more diligent, a little bit more diligence, a little bit more dedication, go the extra mile a little bit more, a little bit more blood, sweat, and tears, and it will pay off, and it'll be well worth all the extra work. We're coming down to the crunch, coming into the end of 2016, and I feel it has something to do with end of year. For some of you, this is something to do with end of year. This is not the time for you to have any self-doubts. Look at it is what it is, and I bet you're not in the same place when you first started out, and you have come a long way, baby. And for some reason, you're blinded to that, and there's a lot of self-doubt going on. Please don't do that. This is your overall energy for the reading. Your second card that I pulled for you, Taurus, is the Four of Wands. This represents reward, and it fell into your financial sector, your wealth. Anything to do with money, Skrilla. Okay. So, this card, when it appears for you, it's all about, say, just like the first one, it's all about finishing up and tying up your projects. Somebody is looking for a new home, and they're going to find the new home, the home that they've been dreaming of, or thereby close to what they were dreaming of. You couldn't get much closer without actually taking the dream from you and manifesting it in front of you to have it exactly as you wish. There's enough room. This new home for you carries everything important to you that you feel you need and you want. And there's just enough leeway room to leave you space to go in and put your own touches on things to make it really, really yours, not something somebody else has left behind and sold you. Some of you are needing to take a rest before the holidays because it's going to get crazy for some of you, and you're socializing. There's going to be a lot of socializing. That's pretty much common sense and given at this time of year. If you practice the tradition of celebrating Christmas, not everybody does, so that's why I say that. But if you do, it just goes, it's a given. You're going to be really busy. There's going to be a lot more things going on, a lot of parties, a lot of visitations, a lot of visitors, a lot of errands to run, a lot of cooking, a lot of shopping, and trying to stay on top of all that. And that can be draining in a good way because it's the most beautiful time of the year. So yeah, that just even, like I said, it's a given, it's common sense. Some of you, probably I'm hearing 2 or 3 of you at most, and there's thousands of you, right, are going to be taking a trip away for the holidays. You're not going to be staying at home base. You're going to be, for some, that'll be going to visit with friends. For some, it'll just be taking a trip someplace you wanted to go, Some of you will be going home, the original home, to the homestead, to visit with your family, your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, your nieces and nephews, and this kind of a thing. I'm sensing a country Christmas for somebody who lives in a ranch, a very big ranch. I see what looks to be either cedar or a log home. It's brown, and it's very, very, very dark, and it's very, very large. It can hold the capacity of probably 4 or 5 families under one roof quite comfortably, and that's what you're going to be seeing and being in the middle of for that. I see a green Christmas for you, though. I don't see snow. I don't know why. That's just what I'm being shown. Okay, so the keywords for this card are balance, love and contentment, freedom, openness, travel, and a home. The advice is to be carefree while you can and replenish your mind, body, soul, and soul. You deserve it. Here's the thing. This is the card around wealth and finances, okay? Anything to do that pertains to money. One of you, and maybe I'm off, maybe it's more than one, but one of you is going to be traveling and has to do with future potential earnings, money, contracts. You have to fly. You will be flying very, very close in and around the holidays. And this has to do with tying up loose ends, selling ideas, trying to gain new clients and new contracts. And this is very personal to you. This reflects very personally to somebody out there. Yes. And that goes back to the first card, the extra blood, the extra tears, the extra sweat, the extra pushing and working a little bit harder, and it will be well worth it in the end. You may sacrifice some of your Christmas holidays to go on this trip to tie this situation up because there's so much potential there. You can't let it slide by and miss it, but there's your sacrifice, all right? Your holidays will be cut very, very short. You'll only be gone for Christmas as long as it's necessary, and you'll be right back at it again, but it'll be worth it in the end. Your money will start to come in. You will be successful and win these contracts. Third card that I pulled for you, your hearth, your home, your love, your anything to do with the heart and love. And this is the card of death. And it's all about transformation. Okay? So when this card appears, and I go over this card every time I pull it for any of the signs, the boat that is seen on this is called a dory. And it's a fishing dory. And at either end of the dory, there are already what's left of fishing nets that they used. One on the bow, one on the stern. Now, if you look closely right here, you will see that the sides are rotting out of the boat. Boys, it looks pretty derelict, does it not? This boat was created to be a fishing vessel. It was built and created with a mission and a purpose in its lifetime. It ran into trouble. It sunk at sea. It sunk and it landed and settled on the seabed floor beneath the ocean. And in a sense, this was a death. And the owner said, well, she's literally dead in the water and no good to anybody now. Walked away, and they were thinking of getting started on a brand new one. But here's what happens. Look at the life that's around that boat. It's teeming with aquatic life, teeming with it. A lot of the marine life will find refuge in this dory. It will they will use it as a hiding place, a place of rest, a place of living. They will find their food there, all kinds of different uses for it, all kinds of stuff. And it has not died. It has found a new purpose in its life. I'm hearing for some of you, separation from relationships, starting a new life, leaving, closing one door behind. For some of you, it's slamming against your back. This is imposed upon you. The other person you're involved with is the one that drove it to this point. And you are left to find a new purpose in your life, a new reason to be, because the person you were with was your whole life. I'm very, very sorry for that. I'm feeling that quite strongly off the card. There's a couple of broken hearts here. You are not dead. You're not washed up. I don't care how old you are. No one's ever too old for love. And if this was imposed upon you, something you didn't see coming, something you didn't want, you had no control over that. And really nobody else gets to dictate your life and which direction you go in unless you let them. And that's the bottom line there, unless you let them. All right? And sometimes it's easier for us to say, well, they made me this and they made me do that, and I didn't want to do this, but this is what happened. You know what? There comes a point where that's going to stop. I'm going to be a bit of a hard ass here with you. For those of you that need to hear this, you need to take responsibility for your own life and your own happiness. It doesn't matter how many times you've been done wrong by other people. At the end of the day, this is all about you, and you're the one in control of you, and only you can make you happy. All right? We all have our demons to fight in our battles, but when it comes to affairs of the heart, you need to repurpose your heart for something else, is what you need to do. Your heart isn't dead. You're not dead. And, you know, if you just give up and get swallowed up in, you know, I don't really want to use the word self-pity because that sounds insulting. When somebody's hurting, that's the last thing I want to say. They're so blinded by their own pain that they can't see what's really as plain as the nose on their face, what they need to do. And if they don't do anything at all, well, there's a guarantee that nothing's ever going to change and you're always going to feel this way. You need to reach deep down inside yourself, Taurus, and you need to find whatever it was that made you who you were inside before the heartbreak, before the breakup, before the moving on. And it's still there. You're sitting on it. The other person's not sitting on it, but you are. But yet you may be blaming everybody else around you or one particular person. We're all in charge of our own destiny, and we all have free choice. If you choose to stay all curled up in a ball in a fetal position in a dark room, that's your choice. And you'll never be happy. Guaranteed, you're signing that away. I believe, here's what I believe. If you've been brokenhearted, if you've been hurt, terribly hurt, and it's rattled you right to the very core of you, especially if it's a shock and you don't see it coming, I believe that it's very healthy for your spirit and your psyche to care for yourself as you would a child that has a big boo-boo or a bobo, whichever one you want to call it, a big hurt. You need to love the child in you, and you need to soothe them. Some people will call that self-pity. Then, hey, so be it. But if you don't feel sorry for yourself sometimes, who's going to? Because somebody needs to show compassion, and a lot of times, you know what? We need to show it to ourselves. That's called putting yourself first. Go ahead and cry. Feel your pain. Let that stagnant, old, stale, worn out, beaten down heartbreak and pain, cry it out. Let it go. But then be strong enough to say, all right, I did that. I feel cleansed. I'm still hurting. I'm still upset. But you know what? You'll be re-energized. You will be re-energized. Don't be closing doors before they open either. That's something else I'm hearing for some of you. I'm sorry you're going through a breakup. It is not a good thing to have to go through. But a lot of you are on the cusp or on the threshold of beginning a brand new era in your life. And that can be exciting. It can be scary. It can be sad to leave behind what we had. But it can be very exciting because everything will be fresh. Everything will be new. And there's somebody out there for everybody. If people like that came along in our lives every day, we wouldn't appreciate anybody. So when somebody special comes along, it can take a long time for them to come into the picture of your life. It can take a while. That's what makes them special when they finally arrive. Okay? So, what will be, will be. Don't resist change. That needs to happen. Embrace it. Keywords are rebirth. It's a beautiful word in this context, in this relation. Endings, change, release, relief, and conclusions. Everything has to be concluded before anything new can open up. All right. So, the fourth card that I pulled for you, and it is in your challenges for the month of December, it is the Ten of Pentacles. It's all about luck. Pentacles represent money and creativity, excitement, happenings, that kind of thing. Mostly money. Okay, so when this card shows up, Taurus, it says good luck is coming your way. You could celebrate a windfall or an unexpected financial windfall that brings stability. A family gathering is in the cards as well. When at this family gathering, should you attend, Taurus, all family irritations will disappear and you will feel the love and support that the card predicts. For families being joined by love, feelings are declared and commitment follows. There's going to be news of a couple moving in together. This is somebody close to you or wouldn't show up at all. This could even be you. But what I seen in the previous card, it's not that at all. It's the other way around. Oh, do I have to? I don't want to tell them that. For somebody out there, and I won't fudge and I won't lie, but I don't like saying things like this, but for one of you out there, where the door was slammed against your back, and this breakup was imposed upon you, and you had nothing to say about it, the couple moving in together, this is what I heard loud and clear. Some of you were pushed out the door because they're making room for somebody new to move in with them. I'm sorry about that. Okay, just going to move on from there. You may be hearing, some of you may be announcing weddings or hearing of weddings as well. The keywords for this card are love, luck, money, generosity, family, and completeness. Completeness in this case, it's not the so-called ending of something or the ending of a relationship or the ending of a job. What it means is completeness, as like in the movie Jerry Maguire, you complete me. You have me at hello and you complete me. In that form, in that context, completeness is a good thing. For some of you, I'm hearing things are going to come full circle, which will bring completeness into your life and picture. Tied up nice and tight with a pretty red bow. Situations finally tied up, finally ended, tightly wrapped. It is now complete, and you can move it off to the side, set it on the shelf, and it frees up a lot of energy and a lot of space in your life. This is a good thing. It is not a bad thing at all. Completeness is wonderful. No strings left hanging or anything like this is where I'm coming from. There's no second guessing going on with situations or other people. This is a really finale. Whether you wanted it or not, it is going to be a good thing. Some of you won't see that right off. Some of you, you have to go a bit down the road before this will come back to you and you'll go, I didn't know it at the time. I thought it was the worst thing in my life, or it was the hardest thing I ever did. It was the most challenging thing I ever did. But it ended up being the best thing ever. And I mean ever. Sometimes people need to be removed for our lives to, they've only been a temporary person. We didn't know that until much later. Somebody to come in and just fill that void until the right person came along. And when fate says, this is where you're meant to be, and I'm leading you this way, they will find a way to remove the other person that was just a fill-in. It was just a stand-in, because here comes the proper person that's been in your destiny waiting for years. Even they're not aware of it. Destiny is, though. All right. So, those are your challenges for the month. Your message from Spirit in the last card of the Oceanic Tarot deck in this 5-card spread is the Queen of Swords, and she is all about resilience. This is your message from Spirit, Taurus. The key words are intelligence and independence and leadership, insight, intolerance, and justice. The advice of this card from Spirit is to be ready to make strong decisions or to respond to a woman who makes only final decisions. She is highly driven. She commands respect and holds her ground and puts her interests first. She is charming but suffers no fools. She can see the light, the truth in a flash. This card also shows strong, independent women or woman in business, or a single parent sometimes. Sometimes this is the you card, Taurus. Sometimes you are this woman, okay? This is gender specific because it says woman. So this is all for the female Taurus out there. Strong, driven, zero tolerance for injustice, intolerance for injustice, a lot of insight, and anybody, woman or man, that can spot bullcrap at a heartbeat at 5 miles away when it's coming at them like a speeding train, that's somebody that's got it on the ball. That's somebody that's really got the crap together, as they say. It is somebody that that is very dedicated, can be counted on 100% of the time. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, I don't know what that's about, except that it's there. So now I'm going to shuffle up my deck of tarot and pull one significator card for this overall 5-card spread. Spirit guides, Masters of the Universe, please relay one overall message for Taurus the Bull in this 5-card Oceanic Tarot spread. Masters of the Universe, Masters of the Natural World Order and Spirit, please bring these things for Taurus. See, these cards are awkward. I don't know, unless the card flips like 5 times in the air and does a backflip or something like that. Something that really jumps out at me, I will keep it as a pop out, but these cards are hard to deal because they're so large, the size of my feet, and so I drop them a lot when I'm shuffling them because of the size of them, and I just have short little hands. So I try to remain realistic and grounded, and not read into things unless there's a very strong sign set my way saying, Spirit has pushed this card out for a reason, and you need to take it, then I will take it. So, one significator, please, and thank you. All right, I'm hearing cut the card. Oh, the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are about new beginnings, the ending of one thing into another, and this is all about money and creativity projects. All right, let me get my book. It's a good card to have, Taurus. It really is, for the overall signification. This is significant in your reading. That's why it's called the significator. Just bear with me one moment. I always pull my book on this. There we go. The Ace of Pentacles, it marks, on the everyday level, the start of a new project, which is likely to be successful. We already covered that in the beginning of the reading for you, Taurus, how you need to keep going. You are on the track of success. This card is reiterating that. So it will come up to show a new job or a new business venture. Usually this will be the sort of a project that seems to continually grow. Exactly. With each level of attainment, it will produce almost of itself the next step of the journey. I'm seeing an unfolding of events. Order. Numerical order. Things have to move this way. There's no way. There's no this way, that way. There's no going back. There's no stagnant. It's just unfolding, and more things unfold, and it's a natural progression. Whatever this is, it's a natural progression. and it's good, and it's wonderful, and it's all good. This wasn't a really bad reading, other than the heartbreak and the relationship ending. This reading was about work, holidays, family, friends, love, and really is a nice meaty reading. And I do hope that, Taurus, you enjoyed this reading, and if you found you like it and you'd like to get a personal reading, I do offer that service. That information can be found below this video window in the description box. I ask you to please read through, familiarize yourself with how Bay of Fundy Fortunes work when it comes to private readings. Don't ask me to, don't email me and go, hey Bay, like that's what I get called, hey Bay, or Funny Fun Day. You know, what, how's this all work? I want to get a private reading, but how's that? Don't do that, because you know what? All I'm going to do is copy and paste what's in that description box below this window, and you're going to have to read it anyway. That's really draining on me. But if you read through it and you are confused, because I got to go back and clean it up a little bit, the words and everything, to make it easier for everybody. But if you find there's something you don't understand or you can't follow, don't be afraid to ask me. You know, I don't know how to pay. Well, you know, I can easily tell you there's one of two ways to pay. I don't mind answering that. Questions like, what kind of information do you need to do my reading? And I will let you know, because I don't think I say that in the description box. I can't remember. But anyway, you know, where do I go to you know, make my payment? How long do I have to wait for my reading? Whatever. Some of these things are covered in the description box. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that very, very lightly. Also to say thank you for all your likes, your shares, your Google Plusing, and your comments. Comments below, please. Always feel free to leave comments. I like to hear the backstory after these readings, to see who it resonated with, and to see how much the tarot cards were accurate in the reading. So anyway, Taurus, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and that way you will not miss the mid-month December readings that I will be doing in approximately 2 weeks' time. So that's probably going to be really good. I'm already getting hunches at the end of all these readings for the whole month of December that the mid-monthlies are going to be chock full of all kinds of interesting stuff. It's just my instinct is telling me that. I can't even hardly wait to see what the cards are going to show up. Anyway, Taurus, that's your reading for the month of December 2016. If I don't see you back here, you don't see me, know that from the bottom of my heart, for those of you that celebrate this season, the Christmas season, it is the most important one of the year for me. I wish I could make it last 365 days a year. The peace on earth part, and love your brother and love your neighbor and all that good stuff. Yeah, I know that's not dealing in reality, but you know what? It so easily could be. If we humans could just get our shit together, I'm just going to say it, get ourselves together, pull it together, and to do what we were meant to do, to be here to love, support, and grow. Anyway, pipe dreams, right? The world is what it is. One person can't change it. But anyways, please enjoy your holiday, your Christmas season. I wish you all the best of love, of joy, of peace, and happiness, and contentment for you during the month of December. Until next time, have a very Merry Christmas, and goodbye.